Associate Director of Creative Solutions within the Clemson Athletic Department. Our department as a whole is responsible for meeting the video, photo, and graphic needs of all of our teams. My role more specifically focuses on the video part of that. That can be anything from the short form content that you see on social media to the long form features that you see on the ACC network, and honestly anything in between. A little bit of background on me. I'm actually from Eugene, Oregon. I was born and raised out there on the West Coast. I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Oregon, and I majored in advertising. I grew up always with photography as more of a hobby, and I didn't really know if I could ever make it into a career. I got into the creative industry originally through doing work in broadcast. I had the opportunity to do freelance work as a student with the Pac-12 Networks, NBC Sports, and ESPN. I was able to get an internship with the University of Oregon Athletic Department. We primarily did live streams, video board content, intro videos, and I would say there was more of a broadcast approach and style to the stuff that we were doing. When I graduated from Oregon, I actually packed everything up and moved to Indianapolis for an internship with the Indianapolis Colts. I spent about a year in Indiana. I transitioned from an intern to a full-time role within the Colts. I worked with the Colts for around a year, and I reached a point where I realized that there was just a lot more that I wanted to learn, and I wanted to really grow creatively, and I couldn't think of a better place to do that than Clemson. And honestly, as much as I learned in my time at the Colts and in my time at Oregon, I felt that a majority of my career had more of a broadcast focus to it. And I really wanted to step into the realm of creative, social media focused content. I kind of went out on a limb and I found the email addresses for Jonathan Gant and Nick Conklin on the Clemson staff directory. And I sent them a very out of the blue email. It was very long. I explained who I was, what I was doing, what my background was, and I was just looking for any opportunity at Clemson. The timing ended up being perfect. They had a graduate assistant position open, and I was able to once again pack up and move, this time from Indiana to South Carolina. So at Clemson, I started in that GA position, and about a year into it, there was an opportunity to move into a full-time role, which is how I got to where I am today. I just can't even look back at my journey without thinking about the people that helped me get here. At Oregon, that was Scott LeBounty. He was the first one to really give me a shot to work in sports, kind of open my eyes to the reality that this could be a career for me, because I never realized that before. At the Colts, that was Dan Plumlee. He really took a leap of faith on me and brought me to the NFL straight out of college. Here at Clemson, when I first got here, it was Nick Conklin, Jonathan Gant, Jeff Callan. They provided so much guidance and mentorship. It was a game changer for me. I would say that my creative specialty is honestly just telling stories and making sure that in all the work I'm doing, it's going to bring some type of emotional response. Working in college athletics, we have such a special opportunity to shine a light on our student athletes and introduce them to the world as more than an athlete. Whether that's their graduation, whether that's the entire recruiting process, there are so many opportunities to show who they are as people, and that's my favorite part of the job. This creative industry is so full of talented and inspiring people that it's really hard to narrow it down to just a few, but I honestly think the people that inspire me most are the ones that I've worked most closely with. I can see how much work they put into things. I can see how much passion they have for it. As far as advice I would give, I honestly think that working in the creative industry, and especially working in sports, can really take a toll. The most important thing is to take care of yourself. Your mental health and your physical health are not something to overlook, and it's so easy to get lost in comparing ourselves to others, spending way too much time on our screens. My biggest advice is to find boundaries and to set aside time for yourself, because if you are not pouring into yourself, you can't pour into your work the way that you want to. Outside of that, advice is to take full advantage of the opportunities in front of you, even if it's not exactly where you want to be. Just be the best where you are. There's a saying here at Clemson, bloom where you're planted, and I think that is the best advice, is whatever your circumstances are, be the best that you can be in those circumstances. To kind of wrap things up a little bit, I just want to thank Fresh Tape for the opportunity to to make this creator tape and to share my story. Everyone's stories are so different, and we all come from such different backgrounds that this whole series has been awesome, just to gain a little bit of perspective and to know that there is no right way to accomplish your goals.
Look like this back out there. 4 point in a row, in a row, in a row, in a row. Work. We finna go stupid, go crazy.